What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Green Lantern War Journal, issue number 1. This is the return of Jon Stewart. And when the dawn of DC had kicked off, we had a Green Lantern issue number 1 that was focused on Hal Jordan. But previous to that, what we had seen is Jon Stewart becoming ascended, a Green Lantern who touched the source. With the Guardians gone, no longer having a central battery, Jon Stewart, he restarted the Green Lantern Corps. But the Jon Stewart of Earth Zero, he didn't take this ascension and go to the skies. He went back home. Now, if you've been following Green Lantern with Hal Jordan, in the back pages you'll see that in another universe on another Earth, instead of returning home, he had gone and done what Ascended should do. He battled against the Revenant Queen, her army of radiant dead, and by his side was the last Green Lantern besides himself, known as Lantern Shepherd. But with that Jon Stewart defeating her, she ran. She ran into the multiverse. She may not have been able to conquer the Jon Stewart of this Earth, but as she goes into the multiverse, she is going to search out another Jon Stewart. She is going to make him pay regardless of what universe she is in. And all of this brings us back home to Earth Zero. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you like this video. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up at the space station. With the station orbiting around Earth, we pick up with a young astronaut, as she is out here doing a spacewalk, repairing any repairs that she needs to do. Everything seems to be going pretty well, but that's when communications start to go out. With a giant purple blast, not only does she become untethered, but there is an oxygen leak. They lost the solar array on the space station. They have come to the conclusion that they are venting oxygen, and with those oxygen lines broken, fires are breaking out. They beg for the astronaut on the spacewalk to find it and plug it up, because these fires are getting out of control. But that purple blast, it wasn't just lights. There was something else. There was a ring, the ring of the Revenant Queen. As this young astronaut reaches out towards it, she says that it is a doorway, that this ring is all she can see and it is speaking to her. With her reaching out, she grabs hold of it, and she bursts into purple flame. This ring is a doorway to the stars, but not their stars. Something so bright that it is blinding, but this is also breathing. It's almost like it is singing to her. The Revenant Queen has found her first radiant dead. As the crew burns alive, we see this completely take her over. But as we leave the stars and we head down to Earth, this is where we pick up with Jon Stewart, back home with his mother. He has been helping her with anything and everything that she might need. And in this time, he has not been a Green Lantern. In fact, the Green Lantern Corps has been taken over by the United Planets. Sector 2814 has been shut down. The United Planets had quarantined the entire planet, and we really haven't gotten an understanding of why they did this in the first place. But as we have seen with Hal Jordan, he is unable to leave Earth. Anytime he tries to fly up to space, his ring shuts off. Now, Hal Jordan's ring is separate from everything else. It has nothing to do with Jon Stewart, with him reigniting the Lantern Corps, none of it. And so, obviously, there are many mysteries left open, many things that we don't fully understand yet. But Jon Stewart is here helping his mother, fixing a little bit of everything. Whether it's building a fence or fixing the sink, he is keeping his hands busy. But when Jon Stewart goes outside to grab some of his tools, it doesn't take him long to figure out that there is somebody here. This is when the green light constructs grab hold of him, chains wrapping around his arms, pinning him down to the ground. Jon Stewart is being told that he is under arrest and it is now time to surrender his ring. This is when a Green Lantern by the name of Lantern Varun shows his face. He is a lantern of the new reorganized Green Lantern Corps of the United Planets, and he is letting Jon know that he is under arrest for unlawful possession of a power ring. The power ring that belongs to the Green Lanterns, which he is no longer a part of. Jon Stewart tries to let him know that he doesn't have a ring, but this lantern's ring is detecting hard light energies. Every ring wielder on this planet has been accounted for except for Jon Stewart. He also says that he has broken interstellar law, that the home his mother lives in, it is forfeit to the United Planets and all residents inside are under arrest. And Jon Stewart, he may have gone along with this for a little bit, but now this guy is threatening his mom. This is where the chains break off of Jon Stewart. He tells this lantern that I understand you're not from around here. You don't know the culture, you don't know what our people have been through here. He tells this lantern that if you ever try to put me in chains again, you better know how to use that ring before you do so. This is where Jon Stewart starts to have his constructs coming up. He hits this lantern and he does not stop. After only a handful of punches, this lantern is yielding. Jon Stewart, he is in absolute disgust. Because you yield already. You took a couple of punches, what kind of lantern are you? Jon Stewart lets this guy know that he doesn't need a ring anymore. The Guardians would have known that. But he's sending this guy back with a message to tell the United Planets and all these other fake lanterns that he doesn't have a ring, that he doesn't owe them anything. And if any of them want to come looking for a fight, he will show them exactly what a real lantern can do. With Jon Stewart going back inside talking to his mother constantly asking about little Ellie. He doesn't have the heart to tell her that Ellie is not here anymore. And so he creates a construct that looks exactly like her to give his mother some comfort. This way she doesn't have to deal with the trauma of remembering what happened. This is what has kept Jon Stewart away from all of the things going on. He may be ascended, he may be a living freaking battery, but his obligations right now are to his mother. This is what takes us back up to space. The space station now in rubble, but with a giant blinding light. This is where we have the arrival of Lantern Shepard. And as Shepard gets aboard, he quickly sees that the Radiant Dead are here. It has taken over all of the astronauts. As the Radiant Dead make their attack, we see Shepard fight them off. As he battles, he recognizes that part of this station is missing. If part of this fell to this universe's Earth with Radiant Dead aboard, that means the Radiant Dead are now on Earth. And his ring is letting him know that he is wasting time here. That if the Radiant Dead had reached Earth, they are now on borrowed time, because this battle won't be won here. The only way to destroy the Radiant Dead is to kill their queen. To find her, they have to find the one that she is looking for. Lantern Shepard has to go out and find Earth Zero's Jon Stewart. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, when it comes to Jon Stewart, I don't think you guys need to go back and really read anything that has been going on in the back issues of Green Lantern with Hal Jordan. This is a relatively good first issue to jump in. You may not have a full understanding of what is going on, but honestly, in the backup issues, they only hinted at what was going on. The only reason that you would need to read those is to understand that Jon Stewart, in any universe that he is in, he becomes ascended. But just because he becomes ascended doesn't mean that he uses that to the full extent. Now, in another universe, the universe that Lantern Shepard comes from, where he is the last Lantern, Jon Stewart did follow the path of ascension. But on Earth Zero, that is not the case. It had been hypothesized that maybe Jon Stewart, he really reached out and was all of his different variants. That in every universe, he was the same person. That because he touched the source and became ascended, that the boundaries of the multiverse didn't exist for him. But that's not the case. What we are seeing is that Jon Stewart, in each individual universe, he has a choice to make. He can follow the path of ascension, or he can choose another path. Here on Earth Zero, we are seeing that he chose another path. But that doesn't change the fact that he is ascended. He did reignite the core, that he doesn't need a power ring. He is the living battery. But I do have a little bit of a gripe. Now, we saw him become the Green Knight. We saw him ascend. We saw him reignite the freaking Green Lantern Corps. And then he goes home to his mom. He doesn't put anything in place to ensure the United Planets cannot do what they did. He doesn't do anything to stop them. You would think that someone who is ascended, someone who literally restarted the Green Lantern Corps, wouldn't just walk away so subtly and pretend like nothing is going on, essentially relinquishing all control of the Green Lanterns over to the United Planets. And this also doesn't explain how all of the Green Lanterns who had their powers back after he restarted everything, why they would just so so willingly go along with the United Planets or they ran, because it does say that they have all been scattered to the far reaches of space. But why would they do that? It doesn't make logical sense on why the Green Lantern Corps would scatter because of the United Planets. And if that is the case, how are they having new lanterns? If Jon Stewart restarted everything, how does the United Planets have power enough to be able to issue new lanterns, new rings? There's a lot of things inside of this that don't really make sense yet. Hopefully it's all going to be explained, but as it stands, it's really confusing. And then you add in the fact that we have zombie lanterns yet again. This is a story that has already been done. Been done absolutely fantastic, I might add. And so far, I'm not seeing anything that separates this besides there's a new shiny purple ring and someone named the Revenant Queen. This is really just feeling like Blackest Night 2.0, but not as good. But it is in the early stages, so I'm gonna give it the opportunity. I'm hoping that they mix it up, they make it a little bit different, because I really don't want them to just rehash an old story. I'm also not a fan of there being yet another ring. Now, I'm a huge fan of all the spectrum of colors, the rings being out there, so on and so forth. Many of them barely being touched on. You got the Star Sapphires, etc., which are all unique in their own very special ways. But I don't want it to get too convoluted. Some could say that it's already convoluted as it is, and adding more to it only mucks things up. But while I am very much overly critical on this aspect, I'm hoping that they prove me wrong. I'm hoping that these Jon Stewart comics really come out and be something, because Jon Stewart is a lantern that touched the source. There is infinite possibility, and the stories of Jon Stewart could be legendary, but only if done correctly. Let's hope that Philip Kennedy Johnson can really bring it and give us a story that is worthy of the ascended Jon Stewart. Now, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that has been going on with Green Lanterns and Hal Jordan, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with our Green Lantern Corps. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.